Hi beautifuls, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am back with sort of a different video for today. As you guys all know, I am actually a gyaru, and I have been a gyaru for like about a year now, and I really want to make a video talking about gyaru and the history behind it and how it came to be, and also all about it for beginners. Whether you're someone who's just interested in gyaru makeup and fashion, or if you're a beginner and you don't really know what it's all about, then this video is definitely for you, so stay tuned. Okay, so this video will be split up into 3 parts. The first part is going to be the history of gyaru and how it even came to be. The second part is going to be about gyaru culture as a whole, and the third part is going to be about the different substyles of gyaru. Kind of important to know if you're a beginner at gyaru or if you're just curious about what gyaru is all about. I'm super excited to be making a video like this because being a gyaru has helped me come out of my shell a little bit when it comes to makeup and fashion, and that's honestly such a beautiful experience, so I wanted to share this with you guys. All about gyaru, all about the fashion, all about the makeup, and let's go ahead and jump in. First, let's talk about the history of gyaru and how it even came to be. To answer this question of how gyaru came to be, we're gonna have to travel a few decades back in time, and we're gonna have to fly all the way to Japan. So first, let's talk about the name gyaru. Where did that even come from? Well, according to this article, the word gyaru comes from the English word gal, meaning girl. And sometimes you'll see the words gyaru and gal used interchangeably because they basically mean the same thing. In the Japanese language, there is no L sound, so it's replaced by R and U, and this is how gal became gyaru. Now that we have the name established, let's go ahead and dive into the world of gyaru. So the time is the 90s, and what you have to keep in mind about the 90s in Japan is that at this time women were faced with very harsh beauty standards that seemed to confine women into a box. Women were expected to have fair, pale skin, a quiet exterior, not being too loud, and natural makeup. That's what was expected of women in the 90s in Japan. Now, I feel like it's no secret that being a gyaru means being rebellious, and this is exactly where that comes from. The gyaru culture came into Japan as a rebellion against beauty standards, with makeup and outfits that went far beyond what was ever expected of women at the time. What you have to understand is that gyaru went against the traditional look of Japanese women in the 90s. This article expands on the idea of gyarus being rebellious in Japan by saying, young women in their late teens and 20s began to dress in skin-tight clothes, dye their hair, and slather on heavy makeup, and generally act wild and rebellious. The classic look included blonde hair, super dark skin, heavy eyeliner, and fake lashes, as well as revealing clothes and pop colors. Among the earliest types of gyarus were actually ko-gals or ko-gyaru, which were actually gyaru schoolgirls in Japan. Basically, they were a direct rebellion against school norms and rules, basically just breaking any teenage expectations at the time. Tanning your skin was also very common because pale, fair skin was expected of women in Japan in the 90s. Teenage girls and girls in their 20s tanning their skin directly rebelled against that. Honestly, it's very interesting to see the development of the gyaru culture over time. It started as rebellion in Japan, and it spread to so many countries, and you can see it online everywhere around the world, and that's honestly what's beautiful about it. The makeup and fashion can bring people together, which is honestly very beautiful. Now let's go ahead and move on to the second part of this video, which is gyaru culture. Now we're going to be diving into what gyarus actually do, what do they stand for, all of that stuff. Now, to answer the question, what did gyarus do actually? They can do anything they want to. Gyarus live by a motto, and that motto is basically that they look how they want to, and they didn't care what anybody thought. Being a gyaru means exuding an unapologetic type of energy. You are bold, you are confident, and you literally don't care what anyone else thinks. This is probably why being a gyaru called to me so much. It made me feel like myself, and I felt better about just being me, unapologetically. Gyarus were also very into the dancing and clubbing scene in Japan. They even have their own style of dancing, which is called para-para, and para-para is usually accompanied with Eurobeat type music, high energy type music. There are tons of clips all over the internet of para-para dancing, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out because it's honestly it looks so fun. And now, before we go any further, I just want to say that the appearance of gyaru culture in the 90s in Japan is heavily inspired by American music and fashion. And to be even more specific, African American culture. Pop icons like Janet Jackson and TLC directly influenced some of the fashion statements that started gyaru in the first place. Many things that black people made trend, like long nails, hoop earrings, and streetwear in the 90s are seen in gyaro fashion. Once again, black people paved the way. Gyaru is so much more than just the fashion and the makeup. If you're in any gyaru space, whether it be online or in person with other gyarus, it is meant to be a place of freedom and self-expression. That is what being a gyaru is all about. Have you ever heard the saying, gal is mind? If you want to be a gyaru, you have to have the mindset and be unapologetically you. You do not have to be Japanese to be gyaru. You don't have to have light skin to be gyaru. One of the main points of being gyaru is that it can literally be for anyone, and it's a way to sort of be free in your own skin. No matter what you look like, no matter your background, you can still be gyaru. That's what it's all about. Now it is time for part 3 of this video, which is gyaru substyles. So when gyaru first came to be, it ended up branching off into different substyles, and I'm going to cover some of like the more popular ones. You do not have to categorize yourself into any substyle of gyaru. A part of being gyaru is dressing how you want to. You don't ever have to feel like you have to put yourself in a box to fit any sort of substyle. The first substyle I'm going to cover is hime gyaru, and hime means princess, and that's honestly the best way to describe this. There's a lot of pink. It's very hyper feminine. There is a lot of bows, which makes it so cute. There's a lot of pink in the makeup as well, and makeup is actually a little bit lighter. It's not as exaggerated as other gyaru substyles. The hairstyles with hime gyaru are so beautiful. It's so cute and I love it so much. Next up is Yamamba gyaru, and this was probably my first exposure to gyaru. When people who don't really know much about gyaru think about gyaru, they usually think of this, and they usually think of tropical inspired looks and stuff like that. Yamamba gyaru definitely does have some tropical elements, hibiscus flowers, and bright colors. Some key aspects of this substyle is tan skin, tropical inspired looks, exaggerated makeup, dyed hair, usually blonde or bright colors, and long nails. I feel like the exaggerated makeup with Yamamba gyaru is what makes it so memorable and what makes it stand out. Next up is Tsuyome gyaru, which translates to strong or bold. Just think animal prints, rhinestones everywhere, fur. It totally gives like Y2K vibes. If you're interested in gyaru and you love Y2K fashion, then Tsuyome is definitely for you. Like there's a lot of cheetah print, zebra print, browns, blacks, whites, silver, think rhinestone belts, hoop earrings, stuff like that. Next is Agejo gyaru, and I think Agejo gyaru is also a pretty popular one. Some of the main characteristics of Agejo gyaru is pink and black. Not every Agejo gyaru outfit has to have pink and black. It's just something that I noticed that a lot of them have. Kind of mature vibes, black stockings. It is typically not worn by younger gyarus because it gives a more sensual and mature vibe, and this is because Agejo gyaru is inspired by Japan's nightlife and clubbing lifestyle, and there can be some elements that may not be appropriate for younger gyarus. I still think it's so beautiful. Pink and black look so beautiful together. Next one we'll be talking about is Kogao, which I actually mentioned earlier when I was talking about the history of gyaru. It's sort of the rebellious version of Japanese school uniforms. They're also amongst the first version of gyarus. Just think school uniforms with your own little flair. The final substyle I'll be talking about is Roku gyaru. Roku gyaru, I'm pretty sure, is inspired by like rock and punk in America. Just think goth mixed with gyaru, and that is what Roku gyaru is. There's a lot of reds, silvers, blacks. The fashion is very edgy. I think my favorite gyaru substyle is definitely Tsuyome. And yeah guys, that wraps up this all about gyaru video, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you learned a thing or two about gyaru and gyaru history. Researching for this video was really fun because I always love learning about fashion and makeup, especially gyaru fashion and makeup. Honestly, if anybody ever wants to try gyaru makeup or get into the fashion, I literally recommend it like 1,000 times over. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everybody.